cluttered mind is the same thing as a concert hall. And you can have all these voices screaming and shouting, and then one person represents your highest self, and everyone else are all your different thoughts. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dominique Davis, also known as Brown and Bendy, and here on this channel, we practice flexibility of the mind, the body, and the spirit. I am really excited about today's video because when I got to this point in my journey, it was very freeing and very exciting. So I'm very happy to share what I've learned about this topic with you guys because I feel like I have a little bit more experience now. I'm kind of more comfortable talking about this. Today, we are going to discuss how to hear your higher self. Everyone has a higher self. My personal perspective of what a higher self is, I believe that our higher self is our subconscious mind, or the part of our brain that has a direct connection with source or the creator. However, you tend to look at creation and the universe and things like that. I believe that our higher self is the voice in our head that allows us to connect to universal truths and love. That part of ourself that is connected to God or the universe or source, however you define it, that part of our mind is energetic. So I believe that that energy is articulated through our minds as 3D earthly individuals, which is why when we do learn to hear our higher selves, it speaks in a voice that's very relatable that we understand because our conscious minds are translating it. When you first start listening for your higher self, it may seem kind of difficult because when you slow down and tune in to your thoughts, you may hear a lot of different things and the voice sounds the same, but he or she is just saying a bunch of different stuff. So you don't really know what part's your higher self and what part is your ego. So I want to break that down really quick. Your higher self, your highest self, is the part of you that is unlimited love and unlimited abundance. And it speaks in that way. Based off of my beliefs, I believe that our highest selves are the parts of our mind that connects us to the divine and to source. So based on this belief, our highest self is always coming from a place of unconditional love, never anything else. So obviously, love is one emotion and one perspective that can come from that, but also different emotions that are a byproduct of love, such as kindness, forgiveness, patience. All of those emotions are indicators that your highest self is talking to you. I'm going to give you guys a really quick example of my higher self coming to talk to me, coming to check me really quick. The other day I went to this new coffee shop and I ordered a drink, and the guy who gave it to me for a price, and I paid that price and I went along with my day. And then the next day I went to the same coffee shop, ordered the same exact thing, and my order was maybe $3 more expensive. When I say your girl felt bamboozled, I was aggravated. And you guys know me, I'm not cussing anybody out. That's not my style, but I got kind of snippy. With the with the girl who was getting my order together, and I was like, that's super expensive, that's not what I paid yesterday. And she was like, I'm sorry, that's what the price is. And I was just like, okay, that's fine, whatever. I wasn't disrespectful to her, but my intention and my energy might as well been. And then I go outside and I'm drinking my drink and I look up on the website what the real price of this order is, and the girl was right. She charged me what she was supposed to, And I then realized that I was being so entitled and so childish. And, it happens. Like sometimes people give you discounts because they feel like it and they don't tell you. Like that happens all the time. So I switched my mindset to being grateful for the discount I got the other day. And then I felt the guilt. So my ego got bruised. And instead of resolving it from my highest self, or if I didn't resolve it with my higher self, I would have been making a choice by my ego, which means I would have wanted to continue to be right. I wouldn't have wanted to apologize. And I would have wanted to keep this thought that, oh, they're wrong. They did me wrong. Like that victim mentality. And who wants that? I went inside and I cleared the air and it was fine. And my highest self led me to do that, because we get into situations every day, and some of them are super dramatic and some of them aren't. But every situation we get into is an opportunity for us to connect with our ego or our highest self. And every choice we make, whether we choose to go with our ego or our highest self, strengthens that part of our mind. The ego is a voice of a logical protection. Okay, so when you check in and you listen to those thoughts, if they sound like they are from a place of fear, if they sound like they're from a place of anxiety, if they sound like they're from a place of jealousy, anger, rage, doubt, any of the emotions that can make you feel as though something's at risk or something can go wrong, it's coming from your ego. We have to constantly remind ourselves that we are not some people are fortune tellers, but we have to constantly remind ourselves that we personally are not fortune tellers. And just because we had one experience one time, that does not mean that that's an example of how the rest of the world is. So when we begin to overcompensate so that we don't look dumb, so that we can protect this image we've created for ourselves, those types of thoughts are your ego. Unfortunately, we are taught to make choices guided by our ego. Our society teaches us that our society actually doesn't teach us anything about ego, but we learn from television and our pop culture that our personalities and that our identities are what we need to protect and what we need to project, when in reality, it is love for ourselves and our fellow man that is what we need to protect and what we need to project, not these ideas of who we think we are, because we learn different things every single day. So who we are changes every day. So while we're always trying to protect this identity is changing. So just stick with love and things end up going way smoother. So this is definitely just a basic overview of the difference between ourselves and our highest selves and our ego. The difference between our higher selves and our ego. But if you really want to hear your highest self today, like you want to experience this today, there's only one thing you can do. One thing. Meditate. You have to meditate. Oh my goodness. I meet so many people who just refuse. I used to be the type of person who just refused. And it's just so funny because I know exactly why. And I think it's the same reason for everyone. I think that when we have time to be still, a lot of people are afraid of the thoughts that stillness can bring. And I understand that. And we've all been there. But meditation is a way to still your mind and quiet your mind so that you're not thinking of the past or the future. A lot of times when people are still, when they don't have any experience with mindfulness, all of their anxious thoughts are what fill the space. All of their fearful, negative, egotistical thoughts are what fill the space. And that can be kind of scary. So people just choose not to meditate at all. When in reality, meditation is learning how to quiet that part of the mind. Because if that's what you're more used to, if that's the way you're used to thinking, those brain patterns are going to be stronger than the positive thoughts, than the hopeful thoughts. So meditation kind of helps you even everything back out. But meditation helps you even everything back out and gives you a clean slate, if you will, and gives you the choice of shutting it all down, opening yourself up, and then when you come out of meditation, that voice that's speaking immediately when you're out of meditation is your highest self. And you will notice, if you continue to practice mindfulness, even if you're not experienced with meditation, as you continue to do it, you will notice how much easier it is to control the thoughts that pop into your mind. Also, when you finish meditating, I highly encourage you to try to stay conscious for about 30 minutes to an hour. Not in a Zen state, but just checking in, and notice how your mind goes from meditation to completely clear to incorporating the negative thoughts back in. Be mindful of how, don't judge yourself, don't become angry. We are all learning, we are all growing. The thoughts that come back, they're just where your brain is right now, and that's okay. But the only way to change that is by being conscious. And when you go from a meditative state into a conscious state, it's very important to check in. Clear your mind so that you can hear your higher self. If you're not used to listening for it, you may not hear it. A cluttered mind is the same thing as a concert hall, and you can have all these voices screaming and shouting, and then one person represents your highest self, and everyone else are all your different thoughts. So you have this one voice of reason, and then all the other thoughts and beliefs that you've formed throughout your life. So meditation allows you to kick everyone out the concert hall and give your higher self, that one person, the microphone. I love how easy it is to get there. It's easier than our ego lets us believe. Our ego wants to keep control. Our ego wants our brains to continue functioning in that way because our ego truly believes that that is the way for us to stay the safest. But in reality, we have to get back to our higher selves and the parts of ourselves that are connected to source, in my opinion. Okay, you guys, that is all for today's video. I could have sworn it was going to be short, but here we are. I hope you enjoyed it because I enjoyed making it. If you found it valuable, give it a thumbs up so people know that it was valuable and so that they know to click on it. Second, comment. Yeah, if you'd like me to expand on anything I've talked about in the video, just comment down below and I'd be happy to. And last but not least, please make sure you are subscribed so you can be around for my next video. Love you lots. See you next time. Bye.